So you want to get organized and you want to know the first thing you should do. Well, the first thing you should do is change your attitude. That's step number one. This is step number two, but the first real action. You need to brain dump. Find out why this is the key to getting organized in this video. Hi, I'm Misty Winkler, and I want to help you grow in diligence and delight at home. And one of the first projects that we do when we are trying to grow in diligence and delight is to get organized. And I have 5 simple, straightforward steps for you to take when you want to get organized. In this video series, I walk you through each step very briefly, but then I have a course inside my membership that goes through each of these more in depth, but yet with great action steps to help you start getting organized and seeing progress in your life in 2 weeks. 1 month of membership is only $15 right now, and you can take this course in half that time. So hop on over to membership.simplyconvivial.com to learn more or find the link in the description below. If you want to grow in diligence and delight at home, leave a comment below and tell me your trouble spot. Maybe we'll tackle it in another video. But for now, let's talk about step number 2 to getting organized. You need to brain dump. So you've decided you want to get organized, but what does that mean? In the first video, we learned that it does not mean being in control of the situation. It means being in control of ourselves. Make sure you've watched that video. You can click this link up here to find that video. So the first real action you want to take when you're getting organized is not to pull everything out of the closets or buy plastic bins, buy a planner, buy a label maker, buy anything. Don't buy anything yet. Buying stuff is not the solution to get organized. What you need to do before you declutter closets or anything else in your life, you need to declutter your brain. Organization starts with ourselves and in ourselves. So our process for getting organized also starts with ourselves, our swirling thoughts, ideas, all of those things that we think that we have to do, need to do, ought to do. We have to write all of those things down on paper. When we write them down on paper, it does 2 things. First, we see how crazy we actually are. Yeah. All those streaming thoughts that just swirl in our heads and distract us, prevent us from making progress. When we see all of those things that we think we ought to do written down on paper, we realize that there actually is no possible way to do them all. When we see them on paper, we are able to more clearly and deliberately choose the things that we ought to do. Instead of having all of the options swirling around in our brain, we can see those things that we have to do more objectively. More importantly, we can cross off those things that really have no place on our list, on our minds right now. We are able to choose our priorities, to intentionally direct our focus better when we see all of those things written out on paper than when they are simply ideas in our heads. The second thing that a brain dump helps us to do is that it allows our mind the space and the freedom to actually think about those things that we have to do. Instead of our mind being full of feelings of obligation, vague stress, and other things, we are able to, with a clear head, think through those things in a creative, problem-solving sort of way. The information, the facts, the ideas, the obligations, all of those things that can be written down should be written down on paper, because it's only then that our mind has the space and the freedom to think about them. And we want to use our minds to think about things, better yet, to pray about things, to make a plan of action to do some of those things rather than simply hold information. Your brain, your mind is not a place that you want to store any information in a permanent place. It's not a great task manager. It is not a great reference system because retrieval is always dubious. Instead, we want to use our minds to creatively problem solve, and doing a brain dump gives our minds the freedom to do just that. So write it down right away. The first step of any project is to brain dump. You can use anything to brain dump. I recommend a cheap spiral bound notebook and your favorite writing utensil and just go to town. So grab some paper, grab a pen, and start writing. If you need any help getting started, I have a free brain dump guide that will walk you through the process of doing a thorough brain dump, a thorough decluttering of your mind. It will walk you step by step through the process and also explain more about why this is such an important practice if you want to live an organized life. You can find that by clicking on the channel above or clicking in the description below. You'll see the link. And while you're down there, hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell so you'll be notified when a new video goes live, and also give this video a thumbs up. If you have any questions about getting started on your first brain dump, leave a comment below and I'll get back to you. Until next time, when I'll tell you about Get Organized step number 3, stay tuned to find out what that is.